Hey everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our Ethiopia Hambela Buku wash process coffee as a filter offering. This is another year of Hambela Buku, crowd favorite, Onyx favorite. My favorite is actually this washed process version. Obviously the natural process versions of Buku that we bring in are super fruity, very rich texture. I really love the floral qualities and the stone fruit that we consistently get from the wash process offering. So I'm excited for this one to drop first because it is the wash process offering and it is exactly what I expect from Hambela Buku washed. Delicate florals, black tea, citrus, stone fruit, nice and smooth, silky texture, really sweet. This is a really good coffee, and I'm about to melt everything you think you've ever known about filter brewing. Just kidding. We're just gonna do our standard Kalita wave recipe. Pretty much gonna follow this for a lot of these Bukus because we're also gonna be brewing this in the shops. This is gonna be going out a lot of the place, and I want a recipe, one that's gonna give you about 12 ounces brewed, and two, one that is pretty straightforward that you've got a lot of resources with to recreate and get some really great results. So, standard Kalita wave recipe. We're gonna use 25 grams of coffee, and you're gonna use 400 grams of hot water. I have ground this coffee medium fine. This is 24 clicks on my Comandante C40. It's gonna be about 13 or 14, probably about 14 on your Baratza Encore. And we have got the niche 0 in the lab. We are at 42 on your niche 0. So we'll have some settings on there for you with that. This is gonna brew pretty smoothly, pretty quickly for a Ethiopian coffee. And we're gonna get a nice, rich flavor. So just like all of our Kalitas, let's wet our paper filter. Hold the paper flat, pour straight in the middle, let it do its thing, fill up, heat your brewer. When you're about halfway, you can start wetting the sides. Just make sure the bottom of that filter is flat. This coffee is very fragrant. You already get that stone fruit and black tea. Dump your water. Dose your coffee. Shake it flat. Get your timer ready to go. Tare your scale. And then let's brew this Buku. All right, start our timer. First thing, we're gonna bloom around 50 grams total. So between 40 and 60, you're gonna be all right. Just wet all the coffee. I say this drains pretty quickly for a washed Ethiopian. That's in relation to its grind size. This is still pretty fine. I would expect this grind size for an Ethiopian coffee to drain like 4.5 minutes. So we're going pretty quick here. Here at 30 seconds, punch it, and we're gonna agitate, spiral around, and pour up to 160 grams total. And then at 45 seconds, punch it again, bring it up to 220 grams. So we've built up this nice water level. This is gonna keep our flow rate quick, keep our brewer from choking. And we just let it do its thing. So at this point, I'm really just watching my water level. When I can fit my pinky from the top of that water, from the top of where that water was to where the water is now, I'm gonna hit it with another 60 grams. So now I'm gonna punch it here at about 115, bringing it up to 280. And then probably around 140, I'm gonna hit it, bring it up to 340 total. And here we go. Our flow rate is increasing here. Here we go, 140, punch it. Should be around 340 over here when we're finished with this pulse. And then at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I'm gonna finish this off all the way up to 400 grams total. Now you may be wondering why I didn't give you the temperature of my water at the beginning of the video. It's because Our standard Kalita recipe is always at 205. I don't really mess with it. Essentially, I don't want to be changing temperature, dose, volume in the cafe, because then I'm changing volume served. We got to change our menu, change our pricing, all that stuff. Instead, just like any good recipe, I want a baseline, something default that I can plug a coffee into, know how this recipe is supposed to act, and simply adjust the grind size of the coffee and the target drain time. Speaking of which, if this coffee drains really, really fast, it's going to be really sour and really grassy. It tastes, it's actually still pretty sweet, but really sour. It's like lemon drops. Not very complex, not a lot happening. The other side of things, if we drain super long, then it becomes kind of cloying. It's like overwhelming. The flavor just tastes really, really tight and bitter. But when we are balanced, I expect a drain time of this coffee around 3.5 minutes. We are going to get stone fruit. Think apricot, ripe peach. We're gonna get citrus, think sweet Meyer lemon. We're gonna get black tea. We're gonna get floral honey. It's really sweet, nice black tea and florals there in the finish. And then this sweet fruit that kind of transitions between that stone fruit and just that more bright lemon. Yeah, give yourself plus or minus around 15 seconds. So I'm at 3:38. I'm gonna take this off. I'm just about finished draining all the way through. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. There we go. All right. Welcome back, Hambela Buku. Serve and be Hambela.